Kickstarter has been a problem for some time, of course, for comic book creators, and it's on a lot of levels. There's the political element where they, of course, target you and harass you if you have different political opinions. They are not friendly to conservatives whatsoever. I recommend everybody not use Kickstarter. They're just bad people over there. And on top of this, they've kind of system that like really wasn't updated for a long time because they were the only game in town. And when you've got a monopoly on things, and this is how Kickstarter keeps thriving, to be honest, they've got most of the backer base going to Kickstarter as a Kickstarter sort of thing, and that's where people can get discovered on there. When people, of course, have that monopoly, they don't really put a lot of effort into things. They've got the money coming in. It doesn't matter. Now, over recent years, a lot of the systems have proven to just not be that consumer-friendly or even creator-friendly, as their whole setup doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, now they are charging backers taxes if backers want to receive their rewards. Apparently, this is out of the control of the creators. They have to do this, and this is what they have. So interesting stuff on that level. That this goes on. So please hit the like and subscribe button. We're going to talk about kind of the problems with Kickstarter and what's going on, what the Kickstarter CEO is saying in response to this. A big deal for comic creators and comic fans out there who might like Kickstarter. I always recommend Fund My Comic because Fund My Comic is a much better free speech platform, and that's where I'll be having my next project on that I'm going to be crowdfunding. I also post on Substack, and I'm posting Flying Sparks. We just wrapped up, this is pretty cool, the 3rd issue of Flying Sparks. So this is the first volume that, of course, I crowdfunded back in the day, and I've been posting it one page every single day just to, of course, get readers in on this, and this is a great way to do things. I really like the webcomic community because the webcomic community is all about reading first, and so you read and then you support a creator because it allows me to, of course, make projects based on your support. And a lot of webcomics out there get thousands of people subscribing to them on Patreon and the like. I like Substack because it's a free speech platform. Again, it's a good spot. I'm also on Subscribestar, another free speech platform if you prefer there. And I really appreciate subscriptions. We really want to build these up over this summer right now, guys, because we've got so much going on. I've got 9 graphic novels. I actually just finished a short comic that actually spins out of Flying Sparks with one of the characters. And so that's going to be posted very, very soon. We just finished the line art, so we have to get colors finished and then letters, of course. And a lot in development because just tons of creativity over here. And I appreciate everybody for being here. So sign up on the Substack. This is in the description below. And you get, of course, the pages every day. It's free. If you do become a paid subscriber, I give you PDFs once we get to certain milestones on there. And there's also exclusive comics that are only for paid subscribers. This is something, again, we give more than anybody else out there because we have so much going on. I mean, I just have a whole line of comics that very few indie comics do this much. You see most people on Kickstarter do like 1 or 2 or 3 issues worth of comics per year. We're doing that, exclusives on here. We've got crowdfunded graphic novels coming out. It's really good to be a JDA fan. So Astromancer and Extrasensory are the 2. They'll be coming out with new pages very, very shortly for paid subscribers. And please get on here, guys. I know a couple thousand people are going to watch this video, and we're building a new comic model, which is really, really awesome for the future. So thanks for being here. I do have paper books on my web store, which will be in the description below as well. If you prefer those, you can, of course, grab those. I try to just cater to everybody, and that's something that a lot of people don't do in comics these days. It's part of a problem. So yeah, Kickstarter has a lot of problems just by itself. I'd say the first and foremost is just the system. Like, you have this 30-day thing where people back a book and then they don't charge you. And so this causes problems every single time. I've run more than a dozen campaigns before they banned me, which I'm going to get to in just a second. And with those dozen-plus campaigns, which I fulfilled and everybody was happy with, I've made, I think, close to $200,000 on Kickstarter. I'm a decent middle-sized creator on there, I'd say. And with that, you always have problems with it because people back at the beginning and then they forget about it, and then it charges their card or whatever 30 days later. Well, they might have maxed their card or might have run out of funds in that bank account and just not accounted for this. You always lose, as a creator, about 10% of pledges don't go through because of this, is what I've seen over the years. 10%. So when you're talking $200,000 of campaigns, I've probably lost about $20,000 just because Kickstarter doesn't charge people right away. So terrible. That's a big deal, right? That's a car. It's out of control that Kickstarter does this. Now, on top of that, It's very user unfriendly. Like they didn't used to have a way where you could like buy a la carte things. If you remember being on Kickstarter back in the day, you'd be like add-ons. So put an extra $20 if you'd like a baseball hat along with this, and then it'd be on the backer to like, okay, I got my pledge, and then I got to enter $20 extra in to get this. And it was such a pain to manage and navigate as a creator at the time. It just made for terrible things. And then you just get a spreadsheet at the end where you have to like email all the individual backers. So what happened because of this? A cottage industry of like post Kickstarter sort of deals, like BackerKit and GameFound would be pledge managers afterwards, that then the backers would have to go back in and log in and give their information again and the like in order to track things. Now, those are still better, even though Kickstarter has finally updated those and actually has one now, which is what's happening right here. Those pledge managers are still better than what Kickstarter has to offer because they actually break things down into easy package groups and the like. And Kickstarter's trying to catch up with this because they know they've lost a lot of business. Once BackerKit and GameFound were doing that, they started moving creators over to those platforms directly. And so if you already had a big business in board games really moved around quite a bit, or video games or whatnot. You don't really need Kickstarter because you're not like me trying to like get people to see your comics for the first time because you're a small creator or whatever. Those companies can just move, and so those big companies moved and took a lot of their customers with them. That's why Kickstarter had to react. Like I said, this is all a monopoly then reacting. So that's what's going on Kickstarter. Like I said, just not the best platform overall. And I like Fund My Comic a lot better. They charge right away. And then the thing Indiegogo does, which is the primary competitor, they charge right away, but they don't deliver you the funds right away. They hold the funds until the campaign's over. And so it's like, that's really shady. And they do that because Indiegogo then collects interest in their bank accounts off that. So it's a scam. It's a scam to just get some interest money and just bilk a bid out of backers. So I hate both of those companies. I'm banned on both of them. And what they did is they banned me because, of course, I got mass reported by some DC Comics folk. A couple of them. One of them was Kwanzaa, if you remember him. He's a black activist who got hired by DC Comics for a bit during one of their initiatives for that. He just started riling up a mob to harass me off Kickstarter and started tagging all the employees of Kickstarter to make sure that they wouldn't approve my projects. And then Ethan Van Sciver and his Comicsgate group did the same because, of course, I report on their stuff here. So when I then tried to launch my next campaign, I couldn't. They took away my permissions. I can't even respond to people's messages on there. They've taken away my permissions on that. I tried to reach out to their head of comics. He blocked me when I reached out. I tried to reach out to their CEO. He blocked me when I reached out. So it was very much a coordinated political job. Now, this didn't just happen to me. This happened to Mike Barron. Had one of his projects removed on Kickstarter as well. They've got Nexus up there, but they did remove one of his projects for, quote, hate speech. When he got harassed by a media group calling him a racist. They also removed Hans Schantz' Wise at Heart because it was a book about just how transgenderism causes problems, and they couldn't handle that. So they target people over political stuff, and it's crazy because Kickstarter, if you look at it through their comics section, scroll through there, like 90% of it is just porn. So it's like, okay, so porn's fine, but if it's right-wing politics, you got to be gone. Now they've done something different with this whole pledge manager sort of situation, which is really this is a normie here who's just like upset. I'm done backing projects on Kickstarter, she says. Twice now they've charged me an additional amount of money for taxes, quote, to secure my reward and threaten me with this verbiage. This may be needed to receive your reward on this project. Failure to complete any required steps may result in your original pledge becoming a bonus support. This practice is unfair to me, the backer. Why should I have to pay a ransom fee to get my reward after I already paid my backer amount? If this project creator's fault for not including the taxes in the first place, then get your act together. No one wants gotcha weeks after the campaign is over. Now, this is happening a lot as Kickstarter's just including this in here by default. And she got a message back from the CEO. You see why he blocked me. He just is a Black Lives Matter activist from Portland who just, of course, can't talk. These people are all the same. And so he goes, sorry about your experience. Just so you know, we now have to collect and remit taxes for legal reasons. So this is pretty interesting. We as a company are now held responsible as the platform where these transactions happen to collect remit taxes to different governments. Many creators have not done this properly for years, and governments want those funds. We're attempting to correct that. We're still working through the kinks. Also, legally, we're not supposed to charge taxes for something that doesn't exist yet until it's actually a thing, which is interesting. So legally, they technically don't have to. Legally, they're also being forced to, they claim. And they say it's frustrating. I know crowdfunding exists in a weird gray area where these laws did not account for. I'm fully committed to making sure these experiences get better. You have my word. Okay. Well, some of them get better. He also responded to somebody else saying, I appreciate this response. What many don't understand is that crowdfunding is inherently different than regular e-commerce. If creators were ready to ship those rewards and products at the time of backing, it would be completely different, but that's not the case. It makes it incredibly challenging to do our job, but we're making sure that backers are actually charged the right amount of shipping and taxes, remit those taxes to proper governments, and also help creators not to go out of business during the dynamic of shipping costs. Now, shipping costs and tariffs and the like, of course, have caused a thing. This might be a direct sort of a response to the tariff situation that's going on. But again, like, people don't know because the products are not done and they're not coming out yet, how these things all work. It is a tricky situation with Kickstarter on this front. But they are charging people extra, and it is just another nail in the coffin for what's going on over there because there's just too many things about this company that just cause problems for backers. It's a bad customer experience. It's a bad creator experience. As much as he's saying nice things on X right now, this guy, of course, will just ban people over political reasons as well. So it is something where they cause problems for people more often than not. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Are you excited to pay some extra taxes on Kickstarter? Hit the like and subscribe button, my friends. And please sign up for my Substack in the description below where my comics are being posted every day. No taxes here. And you can sign up and support. And, of course, I would love for you to get a paid subscription. Get some extra exclusive comics. We give more than anybody else out there in this entire environment. The mainstream with Patreon and the like are so good at having their artists supported and the like. We need to create this patronage network over here to make this real alternative flourish and continue and thrive in a sustainable manner. That's what needs to be done. And I appreciate you all who've done so. We've made this a huge success. I mentioned we had over 1,000 people sign up on this before, which I really appreciate that. And thanks for being here and supporting our comics and supporting our art. We'll be back.